we in the big bed. It's called I don't fucking know. I just stand in the bed.
Recent news has focused on the Diddy trial, and as the case develops, more and more information about his past is becoming available. Everyone who has even a tenuous relationship with him is therefore feeling the heat. Some attribute it to inexperience, but an old video of Chrisean at one of Diddy's parties has come to light. She appears to be excited to be there, as though she's entering a dream. She recently learned that Blueface, whose ow is currently in jail, was stepping on her, and Chrisean was on shaky ground with him at the moment. Rock is slanting toward the tempest. According to rumors, she has been telling folks that she was enticed into a freak-off by Diddy and Yung Miami, but they later iced her out, as a diversion, by inviting Chrisean to Diddy's party. But this is when things start to become a little awkward because Diddy was acting weirdly around Chrisean for some reason. He bowed as if she were a member of the royal family, lavished her with cheek kisses, and continued to talk about how she earned her flowers throughout their first formal meeting. We need to go back in time to understand the tension. In case you haven't heard, Lemuel Plummer is one of the key figures behind Zeus Network, a platform that carved out a niche by featuring aspiring rappers, social media stars, and up-and-coming influencers on one of Zeus's most well-liked reality series. His alleged underpayment of Chrisean has drawn criticism. The concept behind Baddies was a bunch of bold, opinionated women who lived together, which naturally resulted in frequent physical and verbal fights. It was entertainment driven by pure drama. Amidst the chaos, Chrisean was able to stand out and quickly gained popularity, enthralling crowds.
You gotta have a time
Like I
and
was the
place for it.
problem?
That's what she didn't
No,
like.
it wasn't that you was brought up that you was the problem. It was just that everybody's time was wasted. It wasn't necessarily you by yourself. You came, you left, we never got no group shot. So even if the stunner shit didn't happen, we still wouldn't got no group shot because you left early.
Time.
You did waste everybody's time.
How?
Because you showed up. Because you showed up when you wanted to.
I know Chrisean, she don't want to talk. She wants to swing on whoever's talking shit. If you're running your mouth, Chrisean wants to swing. She don't give a fuck. Something was gonna go down, for sure.
But the issue is, everybody...
However, Chrisean unexpectedly said that Lemuel was not paying her what she was due and that she was done with evil guys. Chrisean says that after Diddy stepped in, the celebration escalated into a wild event. Invited Diddy into a private room, and he immediately started acting aggressively. The clerk recalled Diddy grabbing Lemuel by the throat and demanding that he pay the whole amount she owed for her performance.
Party I went to, Diddy party. We went to the little private area behind the cause he had a house behind his house. Like he had a house, his backyard with a fat bed, and then it had like a miniature little whatever. And then me and Lemmy go upstairs. They tell him that he can't bring his security. He went in like a little bitch with no security, so it's just me and Lemmy. We go up in there. Hold on. We go up in there. We go upstairs. He like, what's up, Diddy? You know, you met Chrisean. You gave her kisses on the cheek. Early on in the party or whatever. We just wanted to follow up. I'm glad that you, Sean. And then he grabbed Lemmy by his neck. It was like, but do you fuck with her? Like, don't play with her. All she need is love. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. And I didn't understand that till...
It took a peculiar turn when Diddy started to show Crotch a bit too much interest. In addition to kissing her on the cheek and praising her profusely, even saying that she deserved her flowers, he welcomed her as if she were an old friend. This occurred at their first formal meeting, which stoked the controversy and garnered a lot of attention. Chrisean claimed that at the party, Diddy allegedly took Zeus Network founder Lemuel Plummer by the neck and told him he had to give her the money she owed for the bad guys. With a since-deleted Instagram post, Cap, however, addressed the accusations before dancing. Carissa Saffold, Chrisean's alleged mother-in-law, said a year ago that Diddy and Yung Miami, better known as Carisha, were trying to recruit Chrisean for one of Diddy's infamous freak-offs. She may have been on to something now, but at the time, she was written off as bitter and attention-seeking. He stated this in an interview on The Morning Hustle, evading a straightforward yes or no question. He also mentioned that although he had met Diddy at public gatherings, they had never had a true personal or professional relationship. At first, Carissa was accused of being jealous and trying to get Chrisean involved in drama, but new lawsuits raised the possibility that she was speaking the truth. In court records, Diddy accused Chrisean of actively in the recruitment of women, the transportation of drugs, and even the planning of encounters, proving that she was more than simply a spectator to his wild antics, according to former Diddy producer Lil Rod. As one illustration, he asserted disobey his wishes in front of Diddy and others. Many people think that Keisha was a willing participant in Diddy's alleged lifestyle rather than a victim, even though she has denied everything, especially the alleged $250,000 monthly allowance, and no formal charges have been filed against her yet. In addition, Keisha was charged in Little Rod's complaint with routinely using a private jet to transfer Diddy's party supplies and getting paid every month to remain silent and obedient.
We got a joint coming out. We got the Act Bad joint.
It's the Act Bad summer.
Yeah.
Why you call it the City Girl? So let's talk about that.
Y'all the world's biggest female rap group.
So we acting bad.
Yeah, and y'all with the shits.
So all the
y'all with the smoke, y'all with acting bad. And acting bad is just having fun. Like, we have a good time. We act bad all the time.
So you heard him. If you a city girl, go get you a bad boy so you can act bad, because we acting bad. I'm with something you heard.
We just enjoying life. Living our fucking best lives.
Best life.
Fucking best.
Me, you wanna know what I do when I act bad? I do what the fuck I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do what the fuck I want, say what I want. That's acting bad. Like,
that's why I fuck with you too.
Yeah, I'm hanging out the window.
Yeah, you with it.
I'm twerking.
That's what
I'm doing what the fuck I want.
Yeah, you living life.
Yeah, acting bad.
Yeah, acting bad.
The dispute surrounding music tycoon Sean Diddy Combs has turned into a full-fledged media frenzy, with new charges and unearthed evidence feeding ongoing speculation on the internet. Insiders have long spoken about Diddy's notorious freak-off parties, and Yung Miami, whose real name is Chrisean, is at the center of the latest wave. They weren't just your ordinary parties in Hollywood, according to sources and former employees associated with the bad boy billionaire. These parties, which can last for days, are reportedly filled with high-profile individuals, drug use, and adult conduct. Chrisean is heard giggling in a conversational setting on a newly made recording as she talks about having multiple rounds and not sleeping. Initially, this can seem like a cheesy joke. However, when viewed through the given the infamous interview that further damaged Chrisean's reputation and the suggestion that she was not only present, but also potentially a willing participant or even facilitator in some of the darker aspects of Diddy's private life. The recent law enforcement activity, especially Homeland Security's raid on Diddy's properties in Miami and Los Angeles, has a far more sinister weight. About her passion for golden showers. You read it correctly, yes. Rather than merely admitting it, she leaned into the conversation to clarify that it was dependent on the mood of the evening, and even joked that she liked it when the timing was right. Her open admission of such unique and particular preferences fanned the flames and, at least to some, painted a picture of someone who... The most perplexing component of the jigsaw is Chrisean Rock, who is also referred to as Chrisean by the media and fans. Within a small social group, she was not only comfortable in challenging situations, but she might have actively contributed to their normalization. Recent reports about Diddy's secret lifestyle have thrown her name into the turbulent swirl, with multiple sources asserting that she was temporarily involved in one of these now famous assemblages. Chrisean reportedly tried to cheer Chrisean up at a rough period in her turbulent relationship with rapper Blueface by inviting him to one of Diddy's parties, according to the account. Nonetheless, the invitation might have contained terms, or, at the very least, certain expectations that weren't completely explained. And internet reports suggest that cash did go to one of these events and might have, even in the kind of Chrisean has never held back due to her uncensored social media presence and frequent public altercations. Insiders say Diddy was immediately suspicious of her since she isn't the type of person who keeps secrets for very long, especially when she feels disrespected or used. According to reports, she was then barred from receiving any more invitations or late-night calls following that one appearance. Just silence. It goes without saying that this story has gone viral on the internet. Chrisean's volatile personality, unpredictable behavior, and tell-it-like-it-is attitude have led many people to believe that employing her was a mistake from the start. For a clandestine lifestyle that relies on secrecy and silence, she is hardly the ideal candidate. If she saw something that bothered her, she would go all the time. Her inability to talk rendered her a liability. Some social media investigators and content producers are also speculating that Chrisean may have been ready for a more significant role in this underground society. As per these ideas, she was not only invited to parties, but was also being prepared to become one of the many ladies who regularly attended Diddy's events, maybe taking on nefarious responsibilities. Yet, there was an element of uncertainty. Some were not convinced, but the proposal was immediately shelved. Many people are critiquing the entire tale, saying that there is no evidence that Chrisean was involved in any strange activities, much less that she attended several occasions. They argue that while her bluster makes her an easy target for dramatic gossip, it's equally probable that she was in the wrong place at the wrong moment. Complicating matters further is the fact that Chrisean has denied receiving any pay for her claimed involvement in Diddy's extramarital affairs, particularly the now famous $250,000 monthly allowance referenced in court documents. Although she has officially declared that she was not employed by Diddy and had nothing to do with any illegal or immoral activity, her name is still brought up. Become involved in the legal actions and gossip, especially as more former employees and witnesses come forward. Not to be overlooked is the case of Lil Rod Diddy's former producer, who was accused of sex trafficking, drug smuggling, and improper behavior. In one instance, he even described how Chrisean allegedly flew in a private plane for the purpose of transporting pink nose candy, which is a metaphor for cocaine. These accusations, if true, connect Diddy to the party's logistical activities. As well, there are so many moving parts that the people must sort through and make their own decisions. After his usual mule forgot the supplies, Diddy personally provided them. Did Keisha just become caught up in something bigger than herself? Or was Chrisean Rock a gung-ho newcomer who got more than she had expected? However, there is no doubt that the distinction between fact and rumor is hazier than ever before because of the mounting lawsuits, the re-examination of interviews, and the weekly release of fresh footage. Regardless of whether your side, Keisha, thinks Chrisean is innocent or that the internet has gone mad, this story is far from over. The squad quickly shut Loudmouth Risk out after realizing she wouldn't be silent. Given Carisha's comments, do you think Chrisean Rock was just an accidental guest, or did she play a bigger part in the mayhem of Diddy's bizarre world? Remark below if this is just playful banter or a hint to something more. As this tale gains credibility, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons to be updated. It will only get wilder from here.